The other day when I was installing my SM AFR wideband into my 1998 Toyota Altezza, I proclaimed, "What do you need a radio for when you've got ITBs?" And it was at this point I got a little bit sidetracked. What you see here is the USB cable that runs to the Link ECU. I want to extend this to the center of the dash and make a permanent port for the laptop to plug into when needed. To do this, I'm going to need a female to female USB cable with some sort of mount on one end like this. But all I can buy online is either this, which is female mount to male, or female to female with no mount like this. So I'm taking you on a road trip to Tokyo Electric Town to see if they have what I need. Much easier by train than by car though. We're currently aboard the Keio Shinjuku line heading towards Shinjuku. After a quick change at Shinjuku Station, we're now on the Sobu line heading towards Akihabara, aka Tokyo Electric Town. A one-way trip from my local station to Akihabara takes about 1 hour and costs around $6. And with the power of editing, we're here. It's not unusual to see like a kiosk or something on the train platform, but here we've got a bakery or a cake shop or something. Very weird. For some reason, the escalators are on the right, and we drive on the left. This particular escalator is special because it travels down, goes flat, and then goes down again. Not something you see all over the place. I know of one other inside Shinjuku Station. Ah, here we are, the Electric Town Gate. After passing through the East Gate, you're greeted with a giant Sega arcade and a multi-story sex shop. Are we sure we're in the right place? Well, the sign looks correct. As we go off to the right, it's unmistakably Akihabara. The buildings are covered with big screens, advertising, billboards, neon signs, and of course a 3-story tall anime schoolgirl. Now as we go around the corner here, I'm not really sure what's going on the left here. Something to do with PCR tests, maybe? Dunno. But we'll keep on cruising and then head around this corner to the left. The last time I was in here, this was all a bunch of small electronics shops. You could buy just about anything in here, switches and LEDs and all sorts of stuff. I'm not really sure what's going on here today. Ah, crap. Oh well, round 2 Electric Boogaloo. I came back again a few weeks later for some more interesting footage. Figured I could use the highlights from day 1 and the hustle and bustle of day 2 to make something entertaining for everyone. Now as we exit out of here, we're on the main street that runs through Akihabara. And on days like today, they block it off to cars to accommodate the extra people, street performers and other things. Now as we come across the street, we've got another multi-story sex shop, a book off, another Sega joint, and whatever the hell this is, some guy setting up dolls. Okay, spinning back around, we're looking at Gigo, which is actually Sega. Walking through, we have a drugstore on the left. Lots of people, as you can see, trucking along. I'm not sure, we've got vending machines here on the left. And then we've got Tokyo Radio Department Store. This place wouldn't actually let me film inside. They were kind of very freaky when I went in, so we're just going to run with a little bit of stealth action. Yeah, enough of that. They didn't have what I wanted and they told me that I wouldn't be able to buy it in Akihabara anyway. So cruising along, on the left here we have our first maid, standing out the front of KFC, and on the right we have another Sega joint, which is now named Gigo. Now coming around this corner we enter Akihabara Junk Street. This used to be all electronics, but nowadays there is a lot of maid cafes. If you don't know what that is, Google that. But yeah, I'm just going to be quiet for a minute and let you enjoy the sights, and I'll catch up with you at our next stop. And here we are. I'm going to give you guys a good look at this place because they actually had what I wanted, so props for that. But spoiler alert, I found it cheaper somewhere else. Here we have a classic Akihabara Itasha. Old mate was stoked to have me filming it. This Nissan Caravan on the left here is sick. I'm kind of disappointed I didn't film more of it, to be honest. Now, dead ahead, we've got a place called Super Potato. Now, despite the name and how it looks, it's not a vegetable shop. It's actually a retro game store and arcade, but it's really tight in there and difficult to film. Not even sure if I'm allowed to, so we'll keep going. Keep your eye on the chick on the left in the pink. She actually tries to cover her face even though she's wearing a mask. I don't know why, but at the time I found this absolutely hilarious. Junk Street actually continues diagonally across here, so I'm going to be quiet and let you enjoy the sights. This giant blue building on the right here is a point of interest. It's actually a multi-story building full of collectibles for sale. Very interesting inside, impossible to film. If you're interested, look up Mandrake. And just like that, out of nowhere, a Honda Moto Compo. These are rad. On the right here, we have a store called Hard Off. It's actually a chain in Japan that sells everything used. Anything you can imagine. I got to admit I was tempted to buy those pink overalls there. On day one, I did actually stop into every electronic shop along here and ask for this cable, and they all told me it was impossible to get. This shop on the left here with a blue sign is another point of interest. They sell a lot of old PCs, and sometimes you can find stuff in there that you just won't find anywhere else. Believe it or not, there's a kindergarten and an elementary school along here. Very weird place for that, but I guess they were probably here before this other stuff. Now up here on the left is arguably the greatest kebab shop in Tokyo, but don't get your hopes up, it's nowhere near as good as Australia. Up here on the right, on the corner, is what my friend Daryl calls the greatest ramen in Tokyo. I don't know if I'd go that far, but it's pretty damn good, so check that out if you're ever in town. And next to that is another Hard Off. Notice those blue buckets out the front? They're all full of product that's for sale. It's just we don't have a lot of theft in Japan. How long would that stay there if it was in your country? Way back when, I used to come here at least once a week for over a year shopping for remote control car stuff. There is so much stuff in here I could show you, but that would be for a different channel. Now you might or might not have picked up that the audio and the video aren't in sync, and that's because I've used video of me on the way there, and I've used audio of me on the way back, because the audio on the way back was more interesting. If you'd like to see my trip back to the station, leave a comment and I'll see what I can do. This final corner has a ramen shop on it. Here we are at CompuAce. This place was brilliant. Half the price of the other store. Admittedly, they didn't have female mount to female. They only had female mount to female mount, but that's okay, I can work with that. So let's take this back to Garage K and see what we can do with it. But on the way, I wanted to show you this very average number of capsule toy machines. Here we have a double DIN radio surround. Now I'm going to flip it over and mark out the spots for the screw holes, drill those out, and then drill out the area between them. Next, use this little electric rotary tool to connect the drilled out holes. Use a little diamond file to tidy it up and make it square. And there it is. Have a look at that. Here it is from the back. It's exactly what I was hoping for. Really happy with it. Now by simply using a male-to-male USB cable, I can plug the PC straight into the car. Perfect.